My name is Tenesaca. I'm originally from Cuenca, Ecuador. I lived in New York City for 13 years. I'm currently the sous chef at Happy Boards. My work days are usually very busy, like any other chef would be able to tell you. But I'm excited to share my culinary journey with you. I would not change anything about my culinary journey so far. I've had great experiences at great restaurants with great chefs. My current chef, Chef Nelson, he was I guess you could say my very first head chef. And he's great. He was an amazing mentor from day one. He took me in and he basically taught me how to be strong, how to be tough. I used to be very shy, very quiet, and if it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. So if I could go back and change that, I definitely wouldn't. I would meet him 1,000 times over again. I'm very, very thankful. But yeah, I mean, I guess if I would say that I would change something, it would just be I would be more confident in myself sooner, because it did take me a while. It wasn't until I met Chef Nelson that I started becoming more confident in myself and in my abilities. So I would change that, but other than anything that I've done, I wouldn't change any of that. Favorite thing to make on my days off is, and always will be, pasta. I'm a big pasta fan. I love pasta. If you actually open my cupboard right now, you'll find boxes and bags of pasta. I'm a big, big pasta fan. But yeah, any type of pasta. Pasta with tomato sauce, pasta with meat, pasta without meat. I will say my favorite pasta dish that probably a lot of people don't know about. I just make a quick little pasta salad. So I make my favorite pasta. A little bit of mayonnaise, some parsley, some salt, pepper, and then I put in some tuna. I mix that all up. I think that's the best thing ever. Not everybody likes it, but it's definitely my favorite. If I had to pick my least favorite thing to make in the kitchen, it would definitely be any type of dessert. Like I said, I'm not a dessert chef, I'm not a pastry chef. I think with pastries you definitely have a little less freedom in terms of some things you have to be very exact, like baking soda, baking powder, like those things have to be like down to the exact science. So I'm not a big fan. If I want to make a cake, I'll probably make a box cake. I will make desserts, I will not lie, I do make desserts occasionally when my family wants something special, but I definitely wouldn't go out of my way to make like a batch of cookies. The thing that I'm most proud of as a chef is the level of confidence that I've gained in the time that I've been working in a kitchen. Being a chef is not just about being able to put a recipe together and putting ingredients together and making something delicious. It's also about being confident in yourself and being able to walk into a kitchen and letting others know that you know what you're doing and you're good at what you're doing. It took me a lot of tears, honestly, and a lot of effort to get to the level of confidence that I have now, which can always be more. It's never a bad thing to be confident. I can always improve. But when my first day walking into a kitchen, I was very shy. I was the only girl. I was surrounded by men and I was very, very intimidating. So it took a lot of guts to be able to stand up for myself and believe that I could do what I was asked to do. The thing that I enjoy the most about cooking, specifically savory cooking, I'm a savory chef, I'm not a pastry chef, I'm not much for the pastries. But what I love is the level of creativity that you can get to, also the freedom that you have with recipes. If you can be handed a recipe and you don't necessarily have to follow it from beginning to end, you can always add any extra spice, you can change something and make it your own. So I really love the level of freedom that you have with savory recipes. You can always tweak anything, any ingredient to make it more unique to you, to your background, or whatever the case may be. But I definitely love that, and more specifically the creativity that you can get with your plating. I think I've seen some amazing, beautiful dishes, and I think that's, people always say you eat with your eyes first. So being able to give someone a beautiful and delicious dish, I think that's like the best thing that you can have with cooking. My favorite kitchen tool is the mandolin, which I know is an intimidating tool for a lot of people. It's intimidating to me as well. It's very, very sharp, which is why I always use my guard. So I never use it without the guard. I actually went viral about the mandolin guard a few weeks ago. But yeah, a lot of my comments were flooded with mandolin horror stories, which have definitely happened to me. I have a lot of cuts on my hands from mandolins, but I just think the cuts you can get with this are just beautiful and super, super amazing. So this is definitely my favorite kitchen tool.
What about the tools behind you?
So these actually are my lovely kitchen, spatulas, spoons. These were sent to me by a brand called Nuestra Casita, which means our little home. So Nuestra Casita is a Hispanic-owned brand. So they sent me this cute little vase along with the kitchen utensils. The feelings that I'd like to convey with my food are always just togetherness. It's a very Hispanic thing. If anybody knows any Hispanics in your life, in your family, anybody, you show up and you show up with food, you never show up empty-handed. So when I give someone something that I make, something that I cook, I just want them to feel happy. I want them to feel loved. I want people to sit down and eat together and just feel all that, have a good connection. It's just a very Hispanic thing. A piece of advice I would offer to aspiring chefs or home cooks is to just don't be scared to experiment. Don't be scared to, if you come across a new ingredient, don't be afraid of it. There's a lot of books out there. There's especially now a lot of videos out there that can explain anything to you. So it's always good to pick up something that you've never cooked, that you've never eaten before, and explore with it. Just don't be scared to try new things. The thing that keeps me inspired in the kitchen every day is that there's someone outside of those doors, or there's someone at home waiting for whatever it is that I'm preparing, and they're excited for it. They're excited to eat it, and they're excited to share it with their friends and family. So just knowing that something that I'm making, that I'm creating, is going to make someone else happy is just a very good feeling to have personally. So if I was asked what keeps me inspired, it's the fact that other people are going to enjoy something that I'm making. One ingredient that I cannot ever live without is potatoes. I absolutely love potatoes. Potatoes, you can make them mashed, fried, you can make hash browns, you can make home fries, you can make anything with potatoes. You can roast them, you can, anything. So I love potatoes. So a cooking disaster that I've had, it was actually kind of recent. At my job, we used to make this olive tapenade dip with yogurt. And one day I was working on the recipe, I had everything going in my Roku, and I started to smell like this faint, sweet vanilla smell from somewhere. I couldn't figure out from where. And then it hit me that it was coming from my Roku, because the yogurt that I used was not regular yogurt, it was vanilla yogurt. So I ended up mixing vanilla yogurt with olives and sun-dried tomatoes. It was not good at all. I tried to fix it, I couldn't. I lost a big batch of tapenade that day. But I did learn the very big lesson that we should all know, is that you always check your ingredients and you always check your labels before you use anything. So you best believe I check all my labels now before I put anything into any dish that I'm making. This is Chef Martha, and thank you for watching Cooking with Edby.